to come back to this august house, and I thank the Lord Almighty for giving me an opportunity to come back here. In fact, in the book of 1 John chapter 5, verses number 14, it says that if we ask anything according to his will, he will hear us. And further, in the book of Job 14:7, it says clearly that at least there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground, and its stump die in the soil, yet at the scent of water it will bud and put forward shoots like a plant. Mr. Speaker, today you are a hero because you have actually been able to obey the rule of law, and you have expressed neutrality in your quest to ensure that everybody has a chance to become whatever they would want to be, and that everybody is protected by the law. That is extremely important, especially if you look at the congruence of the role of God and the rule of law. The great Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Meles Zenawi, said that the rule of law is the basis for any democracy, and without the rule of law in democracy, you have chaos. We cannot build the foundations of a state without the rule of law. Stockwell Day aptly put it that Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God and the rule of law. I would want to reiterate that the same by stating that Kenya is founded upon the supremacy of God and the rule of law. My being in the Senate today is unlikely. Unlikely because it has never happened in the history of the Republic that a seat can be declared vacant, a replacement gazetted, yet a reinstatement is occasioned by a court ruling. This is a novelty, indeed a landmark ruling that sets precedents going forward in not only protecting the independence of Parliament, but ensuring that nobody shall be victimized purely based on their political opinion or association. Article 38 of the Constitution gives every citizen the right to freedom of association, and it's therefore inconceivable that this can be criminalized to the extent that one ends up losing their own seat in Parliament. This precedent should therefore serve as a warning that our Constitution will stand tall in ensuring that this democratic right is protected. My political witch hunt was fomented due to my clamor for equal opportunity for all Kenyans. This was born of my long struggle to represent the voiceless and underprivileged Kenyans on this floor and outside the chambers of this august house. This realization is occasioned to me like a eureka moment that no matter how I fought for them to be included in society, their inclusion would only be token as long as equal opportunities for all citizens wasn't realized. This calls upon all of us from our different walks of life to keep eternal vigilance, to rise up and speak when such is infringed, for inequality somewhere is inequality everywhere. Likewise, freedom somewhere is freedom everywhere. When we claim our freedom and equality, those who are used to privilege sees this as oppression. We need to remind them that equality for all guarantees a safer environment for them, as well as one doesn't have to look over their shoulder depending on who wields power. As I said before, my being here today is unlikely. Indeed, a young boy born nearly 40 years ago in Kiambu District Hospital to a single mother who was abandoned on account of having a child who looked different on account of albinism. Yet I had a dream that one day I would become a respectable member of the society. My mother worked as a farmhand in our local MP's chamber, laying me down to sleep under a banana tree as she tilled the land with other women and men. When I was young, I had a dream that I would be a member of Parliament. Many found this unachievable, but I stand here today being the first person with albinism to serve both in the National Assembly and the Senate. I thank God for that. To some, this opportunity to participate in decision-making on an equal basis with others means that the typical stereotype of the underprivileged must subsist, that we must remain meek, grateful, apologetic, and reconciled to gratitude occasioned by the very opportunity to serve. I want to remind them that we have fought very hard to have this representation, and that special seats are constitutional, therefore not tokens to appease political patronage. That due to the unfair nature of first-past-the-post elections, political parties are only custodians, but not owners of the process to guarantee representation of equal citizens who would otherwise not make it to be represented. As such, it is of utmost importance that such space be robustly safeguarded in order to ensure active and full participation of the representation of special interest groups in all of our legislatures, in order to ensure to their constituents their human rights and fundamental freedoms through the very representation that is the essence of their presence in power. Legal vehicles through which a group of like-minded individuals are able to capture power through legal means in order to exercise it. However, our political parties have had a fair history of not surviving the next general election, degenerating to become a pale shadow of their former selves. This is largely because of lack of internal party democracy that enables them to outgrow the founders' syndrome. The founders see them as personal property rather than public institutions of our nascent democracy. It's therefore important to ensure that we continuously question the manner in which they are run, and that such endeavors be protected by law in order to ensure that we have strong political parties, such as is in other jurisdictions, that have been able to carry the vision of their country, lifting millions of people out of poverty. For example, the Chinese Communist Party, CPC, and the two-party systems of Democrats versus Republicans and Labour versus Conservatives in the US and the UK, respectively. This comes to mind to Kenya, so that is essentially, we look at our history, that we are a de facto two-party state, only that we kill them and start new ones from the same material every 5 years. Isn't this the theater of the absurd? This recycling not only kills the careers of many good leaders, but it stunts the growth of our country towards sustained prosperity. Our public institutions, such as constitutional commissions and independent offices, need not to cave in under political pressure to procure irregularities and illegalities. They should stand tall and defend their space, since an institution is a rule that persists over time despite who is in power, according to research already done. Mr. Speaker, they need to be populated with men and women of honor, candor, and courage, and not spineless apologists who are only too keen to suck up to the whims of power that be, or the appointing authority. They need to learn from our independent judiciary, and in this case the Senate, as to know that even them, their rights too are protected by the Constitution through the rule of law. To anyone out there whose rights and fundamental freedoms have been infringed upon, keep fighting, keep questioning, keep looking for answers to the problems at hand, for it's only in this way that human advancement and excellence is attained. It doesn't matter the fear, intimidation, denial of privilege, name-calling, and mudslinging. Stand up, define yourself, and do not allow to see yourself through the lenses of others. Show to the world the stuff that you are made of, for it's not only authentic and original, it is the essence of the mosaic of our diversity. And that too is what makes the world go around as an interesting place to live in. To those who took the opportunity to body shame and call us out on the basis of anatomy, morphology, and or physiology, I want to remind them the words of Martin Luther King Jr., that no man should be judged on the color of their skin, but purely on the content of their character. We are much more than the presentation that comes with basic appearance, and our clarion is to put it out there so that even if we do not agree with you politically, we too have something to contribute towards making Kenya a great country, standing tall in the community and comity of nations. Long live Kenya, long live democracy through the rule of law. Thanks be to the God Almighty. God bless Kenya. I thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Mwaura. Next.